fight for your life.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into this video on Elvis is the Man. So I've been meaning to make this video for quite a while because I'm an Elvis fan, as some of you know. Some of you say maybe I'm not a true fan, whatever, but I'm not getting into that on this one. And I've always been a big wrestling fan since I was a kid. And so Hulk Hogan, we all know what happened, unfortunately, rest in peace. He was promoting his Real American Beer, and I wasn't particularly, it's a great privilege.
It's a great privilege.
Anyway, so Hulk Hogan wasn't my favorite wrestler, but I began to like him over time, and he came to promote his beer right across the street from me, and I'm like, I gotta go. So I went across the street and met him, and actually that's the picture him and I took, and it was a pretty cool experience. It was very brief, obviously, but I was intending to make this video, like I said, because whenever anybody mentions Elvis, my ears perk up, and I was like, what? Sorry, camera ran out of space. I hate that when it happens. Anyway, I usually film on an iPhone camera, just out of curiosity, if you guys were curious. Not always on like a professional camera, as you can tell from some of the differences in the quality. But anyway, Hogan says that he wishes he would have met Elvis and that he was actually an Elvis fan, and I was glad to hear it. Here's the clip.
Even imagine.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine the things that you've seen. Is there anybody that you haven't met? Because I'm sure you've met, shook hands, partied with everybody. Is there anybody that you haven't met that you always wanted to? Like, do you have any like people that you look at, rock stars, idols?
Probably the one guy that I really wanted to meet. Actually, there are two. One guy I wanted to meet was Elvis. You know, but when I started wrestling in Memphis, he used to ride a Harley and put a helmet on at night. He'd go out at night and ride his Harley around. And then he'd come to the Mid-South Coliseum and sit way up in the top of the building and watch wrestling, you know. And I came along, went through Memphis right after he passed away, you know. And I said, damn, if I'd have came here sooner, because I was wrestling in North Florida, Pensacola, and they were trying to get me to come to Memphis because when I was young, I had a look to me. I was really big, and I was about 80 pounds heavier than I am now and taller. So I had this look. Even though I was green, they still put me in all the main events. And when they told me Elvis was up there all the time, and I said, oh, I wish I'd have met him.
Hulk Hogan times Elvis is potentially the most American collaboration that could ever exist.
Yeah.
There's literally.
So back in the 70s, I mean, obviously Hogan knew who Elvis was, but Elvis didn't know who Hogan was, I'm assuming. You know, Elvis did frequent Memphis. You know, he'd sneak around. Like in '75, we have some audio footage of Elvis seeing a football game and getting a little interview.
Elvis Presley, last time we talked to you, the Hornets were able to get a touchdown, but now I see you're up here rooting for these Memphis Southmen. You might bring them back.
Well, you know, I was rooting for the Southmen, but the Hornets are really playing a great game, though.
They're really a good ball club, Elvis.
Yeah.
How often do you get a chance to get out and see? I know you're awfully busy.
Well, I come here every time they play here in town.
Listen, if I tell you I like your car, will you buy me a Cadillac? Come on, I'm going to like your car. You're going to buy me a Cadillac.
That wasn't me. It was another guy.
So Elvis was out and about, and I'm sure Elvis would have met him. Even though in '77 Elvis was more reclusive, yes, he did go out riding at night. I don't know if that meeting would have took place if Hogan wanted it to happen, but it could have, and it would have been kind of interesting to see Hogan before his prime and Elvis past his prime, which I hate to say, I cringe when I say it, but you know, Elvis, he could have got back in shape. I think he could have had another comeback. Man, this is totally leading into a different video, but I think he could have, if he would have lost weight, got back on the meds, cut back on it big time, and had like a healthy body, you know, was able to restore, he probably would have had a good country career. He probably would have soared in the country vein and continued through a different path, I'm thinking. You know, and all the people that wanted to get to Elvis at that time, like Bruce Springsteen, wanted to get a song to him in '77, you know, but Elvis just wasn't having it at that time. You know, Jerry tried to, you